All right, let's get right into it. For years, pretty much everyone has seen Bitcoin as digital gold. It's incredibly secure, but maybe not all that flexible. Well, today, we're looking at a project that wants to completely change that script. We are diving into Arkade, a new layer for Bitcoin that's all about unlocking its true potential as programmable money.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll talk about why building on Bitcoin has been such a challenge for so long. Then, we'll introduce the hero of our story, Arkade. We're going to peek under the hood to see how the magic actually works, figure out what makes it so different, and then, the fun part, we'll dream a little about the brand new world of apps this could all create.
Okay, so let's start with the big problem, right? Why has it been so tough to build cool, complex stuff on the world's most secure blockchain? Well, it all boils down to a fundamental choice that was made in its design from day one.
This is the question that's been hanging in the air for years. See, Bitcoin's design puts security and stability on a pedestal above everything else, and that's exactly why we trust it. But that very same design has made it super difficult for developers to create sophisticated financial tools, forcing them into these awkward trade-offs between speed, cool features, and, actually controlling your own money.
And this really lays out the classic trade-off, doesn't it? On one hand, you get this unparalleled, fortress-like security, but on the other, you give up programmability. It's a conservative system on purpose. And for a long time, that's meant if you wanted to build something advanced, you had to look somewhere else, use these risky bridges, or even worse, hand over custody of your Bitcoin. So how in the world do you get the best of both worlds? That's exactly where Arkade steps in. And I want you to think of it not just as some little add-on, but as a whole new operating system for Bitcoin.
Okay, there's a lot packed in here, so let's unpack it. An execution layer, that's basically a space where complex stuff can happen really, really fast. But look at these key phrases here. Without protocol changes, so Bitcoin itself stays safe and untouched. And this is huge. No wrapped tokens or custody compromises. That means you're always using real Bitcoin and you are always in control. And really, this tagline just nails it. The whole point isn't to change Bitcoin. It's to build on its incredible strength. It's about taking that rock-solid foundation and finally giving developers the tools they need to build the future of finance right on top of it. All right, so the vision is big, but how does it all work without messing with Bitcoin's core code? Well, the magic is really in a couple of clever new ideas that kind of virtualize how transactions get handled. Let's break this down because it's important. In Bitcoin, a UTXO is just an unspent chunk of Bitcoin. Think of it like a digital coin or bill. A VTXO, or a virtual UTXO, is Arkade's secret sauce. The most crucial part is this. It's a way to represent your Bitcoin inside the Arkade system, but it comes with a built-in, pre-signed escape hatch. This means you always have the power to pull your funds back to the main Bitcoin blockchain, no questions asked. That's what unilateral exit means. You, and only you, are in control. The whole process is actually pretty straightforward, but really powerful. First, you create one of these VTXOs, which locks in your funds with that guaranteed exit path. Then, once you're in, you can transact instantly and super cheaply in Arkade's virtual mempool. Think of it like a high-speed expressway that runs right alongside the main Bitcoin network. And finally, a whole bunch of these small off-chain transactions get bundled together or batched into one single, efficient transaction that settles on the Bitcoin blockchain for good. So, we've seen the mechanics. Now, let's zoom out and look at how these pieces create something that's, well, just fundamentally different. Lots of projects have tried to add bells and whistles to Bitcoin, but Arkade's approach is unique in a few really key ways. This right here, this is the big one. It's the most important principle of all. Because of those VTXOs with their pre-signed escape hatches, you never, ever hand over custody. It's non-custodial by its very nature. Your assets are your assets, period. And we're not just talking about sending money from A to B. Arkade brings in a whole scripting language that allows for complex, stateful contracts. Stateful just means they can remember things and change over time. This is absolutely revolutionary for Bitcoin. If Bitcoin is like a solid gold bar, static, unchanging, these contracts let you build all sorts of complex financial machinery around that gold without ever touching the bar itself. Now, this is a huge deal for security. So many other systems rely on wrapping Bitcoin, creating a sort of IOU token on another blockchain. But those bridges are notoriously famous for being hacker targets. Arkade just sidesteps that entire risk by working directly with native Bitcoin. There's nothing to wrap and no fragile bridge to break. It's just cleaner.
And this is where it all comes together. By batching all those transactions, Arkade lets you get the ultimate security of a confirmation on the main Bitcoin blockchain, what we call Bitcoin finality. But you get it without paying the full price for every little thing you do. It's literally like carpooling for your transaction security. Everyone chips in and everyone gets there safely.
So, we've got the tech, it's clever, it's secure. But what does it actually let us build? This is where things get really, really exciting as we go from the drawing board to the real world. This new programmability just blows the doors wide open. I mean, imagine smart wallets with automated payment rules and recovery plans. Or think about lending protocols where you can use your Bitcoin as collateral without ever giving it to someone else. We're talking about everything from complex trading platforms to maybe even AI-driven payment systems, all built on the most secure foundation in the world. And that really leaves us with this one big thought. For more than a decade, Bitcoin has proven itself as the planet's most robust form of money. The question that Arkade is asking is, can this new layer of programmability finally transform it from just a store of value into the base layer for a new, open, and truly global financial system? Now that is the vision.